for staying tuned to ADBN and watching live from Abuja studio, the Market Report here in Abuja. And the Market Report, as we normally say, brings you the latest information across the business world. And here we are today in our second segment. Joining me all the way from Lagos is Jeremiah Olatide, CEO of PetroleumPrice.ng. Jeremiah, a very good day to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, now as usual, here we are. Tension in the Middle East. What does it portend to crude oil price?
You said what? Come again?
Tension, geopolitical tension in Middle East. What does it mean for crude oil price at this point in time?
Okay, thank you for having me once again. And I'm going to go down the history of crude oil prices in the world. Crude oil prices are determined by several factors. The first factor is demand and supply. The second major factor is war conflicts and tension in different countries of the world. But currently, we're having huge tension in the Middle East between Iran and Israel. And several strikes have been made into refineries, nuclear facilities, and so on. All of those factors will definitely have negative effects on the price of crude oil. As I speak with you, the prices of crude oil are surged with over 3% as at this morning. And what that means is that our local prices will see an increase. As at this morning, the bulk prices are beginning to surge. Diesel and petrol prices are beginning to rise again after the increase over the weekend by Dangote and other private depots. So what this means is that the higher the oil prices, the higher the local prices. That is just the simple arithmetic.
Now, talking about the simple arithmetic, but most Nigerians who are watching us right now, we say, we have crude for naira or naira for crude. How come this global tension impact on price of crude across the world is not affecting us? The people who leave it to make congestion and construction around Dangote and the rest of them. So, but help us to understand the intrigues behind this particular, price and the tension that is coming up.
Okay, so what I want you to understand is that the naira for crude policy is limited to only Dangote refinery. Other local refiners in Nigeria, as I speak with you, are not benefiting from the naira for contract or deal. And for the naira for crude contract between Dangote, what Dangote gets from the federal government on a daily basis is between 150 to 200 barrels per day, 150,000, 200,000 barrels per day. That is just 20% of the crude feedstock that Dangote needs for his 650,000 barrels capacity. So Dangote practically imports over 5 million barrels of crude from US and all over the country, US, Angola, and several countries of the world to be able to make up the 20% it gets from NNPCL. So I've said it on this show severally that if NUPRC refuse to work on our production, if our production is not being stepped up from 1.5 million barrels per day to 2 million to 2.5, Dangote would have challenges with crude. So that is my frank opinion. Now I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Because we have 20%, feedstock from the NNPCL. There is no how international crude oil price will not affect our local prices. Because 80% of the crude that Dangote use in refining is being sourced abroad. And understand that what we get from Dangote is just 50%. We still import 50% of our refined products. So the oil prices internationally will reflect on our local price in Nigeria yet.
Exactly. But talking about this, most Nigerians who are watching right now and listening to us will be saying, this is quite very disheartening. But there's a good side of this particular tension. We now see that there's increase in the price of crude internationally, which also translates to more money for federal government if we end up selling some of our crude. Because as I'm speaking right now, the physical side of the federal government budgetary in terms of money that is coming in will be increased because of this tension. So it's something that we have one hand, we're collecting goods, the other hand, we are losing it out. So what's your take on that?
Yes, that is right. On the federal government's revenue, it is a good one, it's a plus. Currently, as I speak with you, a barrel of crude is between $77 to $80 as I speak with you. And our Bonnie Lights is selling about $80. That is even $5 above the benchmark, our benchmark in line with our budget. So for the federal government are cashing in, but Nigerians will continue to feel the pain. In Lagos, across all filling stations, prices at the pump are between $9.15, $9.20, $9.30. Even some stations are beginning to sell $9.40. They are speculating price already. People are beginning to say, if Iran strikes back at US, prices will surge. So
we have a freeze there with Olatide.
Station owners have speculative. Station owners and depot owners are beginning to have speculative prices, and they are to fix prices a bit above. It is not good for Nigerians.
Now, but talking about this, because ordinary Nigerians who are also listening and watching will be asking, but there is old stock that these guys are having in their filling station. Why are they just selling old stock with a new price?
Yes, that is so unfortunate. I was talking with a stakeholder in the industry this morning, and he is also worried that most of the depots, they have old stock. The retail outlets have old stock. Why are they jacking up prices? Some of them will say, they want to make up capital for their next purchase. That is why they are adding up the price. But on the long run, the tension between Iran and US could be resolved and prices will drop. So what if prices drop tomorrow down? What were you going to say after cashing out a lot from pump prices and depot prices? So for me, I feel the Federal Consumer and Federal Consumer Protection Committee, yes, they really need to do a lot in making sure that consumers' rights are being protected. Organizations don't just jack up prices, particularly depot and retail outlet owners. Even NMDPRA, I know it is a deregulated market. NMDPRA does not have the power to control prices. What they could do is to issue license to control supply, to make sure that Nigerian gets reasonable supplies. But at the other hand, the FCCPC needs to do something in protecting customer rights when it comes to prices for the drug products in Nigeria. Exactly. Because if things are not really worked on, prices might even go beyond the normal, and it's not good for an economy like Nigeria.
Exactly. All right, Olatide, before I let you go, just in 1 minute, what is your own assessment of this current tension, and what's your projection in regards to when do we expect it to end? Because we can't continue like this. If we continue like this, it is the poor that will suffer all these price intrigues that is being brought on them by outlet retailer in Nigeria.
Okay, I'm going to take you back to 2022 when Ukraine striked. When Russia struck Ukraine, and there was a surge in crude oil prices from $80 per barrel to $110 per barrel. Prices of crude rose from 400 to 500 per liter of diesel to 1,400. So in this case, we are having another tension between Iran and Israel. And it's unfortunate that US has made a move. This move has heightened tension. And if Iran strikes back, prices might get to $100 per barrel. And at that point, expect that local prices will surge to 13, 14, 12 at the pump, both petrol and diesel. So all of this will have negative effects on the economy and other byproducts in Nigeria.
Olatide, because of time, let me let you go. But this is a developing issue that we need to track on daily basis on the market report on ADB. So we may likely bring you back in our subsequent issues on the market report as we go. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. This will be the size of our show today. And from all analytical review that we have done, energy diversification mix down to the petroleum issues, whereby Nigerian government, as I said earlier, we are benefiting because there is huge revenue coming up for Nigeria. But the outlet retail of PMS is increasing the price, which will definitely be a cost on transportation, on food, and other items in Nigeria. But we hope FCCP, PC, this is time for you to work and look out on the retail outlet of petrol station across Nigeria. Till we come your way next time, I want to thank everyone that has stayed tuned to ADB and watching our entertaining and enlightening program since the daybreak of today and up to now and tonight. I want to appreciate you all. Till we come your way with another exciting, discussion on market report. Stay safe.